Hello and welcome to yet another episode of What to Pick. In this series I go over a few different starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. And in today's first starting hand we have a decision between Ecoline and Vitor. Both corps are really strong, but they go in completely different directions. Ecoline likes to go for a fast game. Vitor can also do that, but is best in a long game because you want to play as many point cards as you can get. But let's go for Ecoline for now. Galilean mining, in my opinion, is really bad. Polar Industries is one of the best preludes for Ecoline because Ecoline really likes to get some heat prod going. A, to play really efficient plant cards that get unlocked on the temperature track, and B, just because you need to get up the temperature track to play fast. You want to end the game fast, and you need heat for that. Then probably ASA is the second best prelude here for Ecoline because you lack starting capital and you want to play some space events if you can get those. And you can pay for those with titanium and you can maybe even draw those. Bilob, if you have a bad starting hand, could also be quite nice because you get plant prod, and as Ecoline you actually like to get plant prod. And 3 cards can be quite huge, but it's not that great. I would go for these two for now, but let's see what the starting hand has. The Marzu is always a pickup, no matter what strat you're going for. Other than that, it doesn't look too great, I have to admit. I'd definitely pick up Solar Wind Power. It's a really efficient power production card because you get titanium back, so it's quite cheap, and you get 3 useful techs. So if you calculate in this 2 titanium, this card only costs 5, and then it's almost as cheap as Power Plant, but you get 3 techs instead of 2. And a science tech can be really useful, especially with Marzu. I would consider picking up trees as Ecoline. You have some heat prod with Polar Industries, but you'd like to get more. But the rest looks really bad. Physics complex, obviously not great if you're going for a fast game with Ecoline. Capital, I wouldn't pick it up on the starting hand. You never know how the game's going to go. If these oceans go down earlier, if you get a good spot for it. We also don't have any steel prod, so this is really expensive. We don't have any earth tags, so cartel isn't too great. Trees, as I said, can be useful. Solar wind power is quite nice. You could think about picking up Mining Expedition because then you can better play around the bonus bump on the oxygen track. But it's not such a great card, and with Ecoline, I'd rather focus on different stuff. Special design, not too good. Toll Station, not great. Sparrowsmores is a pretty bad card. We're playing on Tharsis, by the way. So as Ecoline, I'd maybe consider picking up Mining Expedition, but that's it. I would probably go with these 4 cards and hope to draw something good with ASA. Something like Ice Asteroid or Big Asteroid or GIA. Some great space events. If you want to go for a Vitor line, I'd probably go with ASA again, and then I'd think about picking up Biolab just for more cards and try to go for Planner. I would definitely pick up Marzu. I would pick up Cartel because you actually have an Earth tech on your corp. I would still pick up Trees just because the starting hand isn't looking too great, and then you can spec on Trees because it's a really efficient plant producer. Definitely Solar Wind. We're not picking up Mining Expedition with this start. And that's basically it. You could think about picking up Capital, but yeah, again, no steel prod, no power prod, no oceans. Probably not. Yeah, that's basically it with this hand. It doesn't look too great. I would be inclined to go the Ecoline route just because Ecoline in and of itself can do more than Vitor. You have plant prod, and you can maybe try to force a first gen greenery down with Polar Industries and maybe an SP greenery. And then you rush Gardener. But I don't know if that's worth it. Maybe you'd also go like Polar Industries plus SP Ocean on these 2 spots and greenery here. You could do that. You're also first positions, so you could actually reliably do that. You place Polar Industry here, and as your first action, you place another ocean here, and then you convert here. That would be a possibility, especially because you're last next gen and you're sitting there with 7 plans. This is really dangerous. So yeah, basically it with this starting hand. Let's get to the next one. All right, and the second hand is a decision between Teractor and Robinson Industries. I think Teractor is way stronger than Robinson, so let's go with that for now. We have to see if we have a good card for ecology experts, because we do, then this is top tier. But if not, then I'd probably go with these two. 4 power prod is really good. That's basically also 4 heat prod, which is a temperature increase every other gen. But you start off 1 gen later because it's power and not heat. And we're playing on Hellas here. So you can pick up 2 titanium with Aquifer Turbines or 1 card. Sadly, not 2 cards. Let's go to the hands. Okay, we don't have an obvious target for ecology experts. And we're also not playing on Elysium, where the 2 tags on ecology experts are really, really strong because of ecologist. So I'd still go with these 2. Because you don't want to do it with herbivores, you don't want to do it with small animals, that's just not useful enough. And you also probably have to hit your own plant prod, because the only other choice would be if someone's playing Ecoline. We are again, we are a second player, so we would have the chance that this player is either Ecoline or this one, or this player plays a prelude with plant prod. But we have 2 of those preludes on hand. There are not many preludes left that give plant prod. So we would have to hit ourselves with small animals and herbivores, so that's definitely not useful. Same with birds. We can't even do that on ourselves because we only have 1 plant prod from ecology experts. The funniest thing to start with is if someone's playing Ecoline and you're playing birds with ecology experts and it's destroy their plant prod Gen 1, but then they're probably just leaving because there's no reason to play that game out. But of course, you're never risking that. Then Heather is just not strong enough to play with ecology experts. So I would stick with the 2 power production cards. But the hand is looking quite solid, I have to say. We can grab Mine and Space Elevator. These work really well together. We also have Supplier, so we can sell steel in the first gen with Space Elevator. And we can grab Titanium with Aquifer Turbines to get it down easier. So that's really, really good. We're definitely picking up Large Convoy plus Birds. That's 7 points there. We're picking up Mineral Deposit just to make it even easier to play Space Elevator. And the rest of the hand is also looking quite strong. The only really bad card here is House Printing. It's just not worth it to play. I mean, compare House Printing to Mine. You're paying 6 more just for a point. That's really not worth it. And then Protected Valley can be useful. But I don't really see a reason to pick it up here. I would probably pick up small animals as well. Just a reliable point card, and destroying plants really early on with small animals is really useful. We have no heat prod, so I don't know about Heather. And because we don't have a lot of plant prod here, I don't know if I would pick up herbivores. If you want to pick up herbivores, then definitely pick up Heather as well, because then you want to get as much plant prod as you can get to get as many points as you can get with herbivores. And so that would be one route. You could also think about picking up Protected Valley then, because you could play that later down the line. And when you have herbivores down already, I guess then you could also pick up House Printing to get more steel prod. And wow, you have all 10 cards then. But my favorite line would probably skip herbivores, House Printing, and Protected Valley, and also Heather, and go with these 6 cards. Then you get Mine, Space Elevator, Mineral Deposit down Gen 1. And yeah, then you're already quite out of cards. We could calculate it through. So we lose 3 cash from Aquifer Turbines, but we actually get 6 back from picking up the Titanium. So this gives us 3 cash, and this gives us 6 cash because we need to reserve 1 cash for the, oh no, it gives us, yeah, 6 cash, and then we make Space Elevator 5 cheaper. So our preloads give us 9 cash, and if we pick up, let's say we pick up everything, we have 69 minus 30, that's 39. We play mineral deposit for +5, so we're at 44 again. Then we play a Space Elevator for 22 because we can sell afterwards. 44 minus 22 is 22, so we play mine. We have 18 left. And actually, yeah, there's absolutely no problem of picking up everything here. And you can even play house printing than Gen 1 to get more steel prod to get protected value down later. And also then you're safe from getting hit by Great Escarpment Consortium. Normally I don't like house printing that much, but we're playing on Hellas as well, and on Hellas there's Contractor, which is an award that the player that has the most building tax wins. So getting somewhat crappy building tax down can still work out well on Hellas. And yeah, I think it's a really strong hand. The other choice was Robinson Industries. I don't really see a reason to play Robinson Industries. You have no power-hungry cards in your starting hand, and you already have steel and titanium prod on your starting hand, which is the highest value that you can get with your ability. And Teractor just starts with higher starting capital, and Earth X are really, really common and really strong. We have one of the strongest on hand already, so I think Teractor is perfectly fine here. So let's get to the last starting hand. Alright, and the last starting hand is a decision between Phobolog and Tharsis. We're playing on Elysium, so I think Tharsis is a bit better. Phobolog just generally isn't that great. You're restricted to playing space tags in the early game, and that can be quite hard. So let's go with Tharsis for now. Interesting preludes. Donation actually makes Phobolog kinda viable, and Research Network is also quite nice. Let's go with these two for now, because Phobolog has so little starting capital other than titanium. Then Donation is actually quite nice. Wow, okay. Okay, this is an interesting starting hand. Okay, we're definitely picking up AI Central, one of the absolute best cards in the game. And that means we want to get as many science tags as we can get. So there actually would be a reason to pick IO Research Outpost here. It gives us a Jovian tag and a science tag, and funnily enough, we have one of the best, or maybe the best, science reliant card here. And then we have the best Jovian multiplier on hand as well. So IO Research Outpost, these tags are actually useful for once. Question is Phobolog or Tharsis. I'm not quite decided on that yet. This wild tag would also be quite nice for Terraforming Ganymede and AI Central. This is the only Jovian multiplier that actually benefits from a wild tag, because the other multipliers are evaluated at the end of the game, and then this wild tag doesn't count anymore. So definitely these two. A MATLAB for the science tag, although it's kind of bad to play MATLAB so early on without any other building tags, because then the direct effect of MATLAB is quite bad, but the science tag, I think we need it. Optimal error braking is just a really good spec, so maybe we'll pick that up, but let's see what's on the other hand as well. Methane from Titan. The effect is quite nice for Tharsis because you want plant prod. Also, it's another Jovian tag for Terraforming Ganymede, so we need to think about that. And then we have a combo of Fish and Large Convoy again. Last hand, I think, was Birds and Large Convoy. And these two together are just so great. Mining rights, of course, is an obvious pickup. Problem is we have no power prod. I mean, we have power prod, we have Lunar Beam. Maybe Research Network and IO Research Outpost. TG, AI, MATLAB. these two together and mining rights, and then we pick up Lunar Beam as well. Really expensive. We are going on to only 19 cash. We place mining rights Gen 1 on Elysium to get 2 titanium and some titanium prod. That's also building tech. So we have 10 cash left, and we also get 3 cash from Tharsis because we place a city. So 13 cash left. At that point, we will have 3 building techs, the company, mining rights, Tharsis, and the wild tech on the prelude. So we could play MATLAB Gen 1 to get 2 money prod. And then Gen 2, you could play Lunar Beam, and Gen 3, and then you probably won't have any money left after Lunar Beam, or not enough to play AI Central at least, and then Gen 3 you play AI Central. That would be an idea. What you could also do is you skip IO Research Outpost and you go Research Network Donation. That way you can get more cards down Gen 1, but then you lack the science tech to play AI Central. Because you can only play AI Central Gen 3 anyways, you could do that and hope to get another science tech in the draft until then. But I probably like picking up these two, just so we have the 3 science techs guaranteed and can get AI Central down as fast as possible. You could also, instead of playing mining rights on Elysium Mons, you could play it up here to get a steel prod, which makes playing AI Central easier. And we already have titanium prod from IO Research Outpost. So that would also be an idea. If you wanted to go Phobolog, I guess you could. You still go with these two. You pick up basically the same cards, I guess. Problem is, you only have 2 cash left and can't do anything first gen. Methane from Titan, even if you wanted to pick that up, you can't even play it because of the 2% oxygen requirement. You could think about picking up Optimal Aerobraking and skipping something else, maybe Lunar Beam, and hope to draw Power Prod for AI Central, just because Optimal Aerobraking works really well with Phobolog, because you want to play space events with Phobolog anyways, because titanium is worth more for you. But you just don't have any early space targets, and that's a general problem with Phobolog. Many of the space cards in this game are late game. Terraforming Ganymede, GIA Demos. You want to play them in the mid game earliest, not in the early game. So I guess this would be my route. You play mining rights and MATLAB first gen, then you look for a better power prod card than Lunar Beam once that's just less expensive, something like Power Plant. But if you don't find one, you just play Lunar Beam Gen 2. And I mean, the heat prod, the power prod is valuable as Tharsis anyways. And then Gen 3 you play AI. You can think about Methane from Titan. In that case, you definitely have to place mining rights on 2 steel, I think, to be able to afford Medical Lab first gen as well. But it's definitely not a bad idea. Methane from Titan, if played early on, can be quite strong. And it's also Jovian tech for TG. So yeah, I think it's a very good starting hand. Basically every starting hand with AI is pretty good. So yeah, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And definitely let me know in the comments if you would have decided differently on the starting hands. And until then, see you in the next video and have a good one.